Well, I'm sure a lot of you guys must be confused by the market because last week we have some great piece of news that Raizel won the case against the SEC, and this such bullish news sent Bitcoin all the way almost to 28K. But right now we are experiencing a retracement down to 25 to 26K. So like, what is going on? So joined by me today is Raizel. He is one of the best, if not the best influencer in Taiwan. So how are you doing, Raizel?
I'm doing great.
It's great to have you. Well, since this is your first time on the channel, why don't you start by introducing yourself? So what sort of content you do and how long have you been in crypto, etc.?
Hi guys, this is Raizel from 脑哥区块链. It's a crypto channel in Taiwan, so it's named in Chinese. So I've been in crypto realm for about 3 years, and before that I studied economics in college. This was my first job because when I go into internship, I accidentally go into a wallet company, like crypto wallet company. So why I say accidentally? Because I didn't even know the difference between like exchanges and wallet that time. I only know is Bitcoin is cool and I need a job. My boss is crazy because he just want me to do a DeFi report. So back in 2020, DeFi is not a big thing. That's before compound and liquid mining. And I was just in this realm for like 2 weeks, and he was asking me to write DeFi report for all the like startups in this realm in Taiwan. So that's a hard time, but I studied fast. And after that, I think that because at that time, most of the people in Taiwan think crypto is bad things. Yeah, people use it to like money laundering, or they only want to get fast money. But my boss, they are real developers. So I know real developers, they do crypto the right way and what it's meant to be. And I want to let most people know. So I create this YouTube account because I think it is the easiest way for us to understand these difficult like asset or technology. And so I'm very lucky because after a few period of time, Elon Musk started let everyone buying Dogecoin and Bitcoin and stuff. And so the market boomed and my channel boomed and I can make a living for doing YouTube.
Well, how long have you been running your channel, I wonder? It must be back in 2021, right? So before Elon Musk.
Started from 2020, August 2020.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and interestingly, the first half year, it only have 200 subscribers. And okay. The second half year is where 2021, the bull market started and it just boomed.
So it went from 200 subscribers to how many?
To like, it's 100K right now.
To 100K within a month?
Within like half a year. Within a month, I go to like 20K. Like that.
Wow! Oh wow! I'm really looking forward to the bull market then.
That's crazy. That's crazy time.
And I wonder, when was your first time buying crypto? Because you mentioned about your internship.
Buy my first Bitcoin before my internship. And that's the time I don't even know how it works. Like it's back in 2018 December, and that is a class of psychology. So our psychology professor invites another, it's called 业师, it's like a teacher from different industry, and teach us some psychology stuff in the real industry. So this teacher taught us the psychology of FOMO. Like fear of missing out. Like all crypto guys knows it. And back in school, like was what is FOMO? He said that, oh, when you want to buy a stock, everyone wants to buy a stock, it falls. And he is a influencer in crypto in Taiwan that time. So he used an example of Bitcoin. And I was like, wow. So in 2018, Bitcoin was in the bear market and it's at the bottom. So he has that 4-year that graph. And I was like, oh, so statistically, it is the bottom. So I want to buy it. I just go to the teacher and say, hey, how do I buy it? Okay, I set up the account. I don't even have a bank account back then. So in order to buy Bitcoin from the exchange legally, I have to set up the bank account first, and I transfer money into and then transfer the Bitcoin, and that's my first Bitcoin. Okay. $3,000 per Bitcoin. That's the lowest price. I was so lucky.
I find it really interesting because he's a teacher. At the same time, he's also a crypto influencer. Is that what you meant?
Actually, his job is not the teacher. Our professor invited him to teach that one course. Yeah, just like a sharing or stuff.
Was it sharing for about psychology or more block?
Yeah, in his industry, yeah. He actually worked at a company, not full for crypto, but he has a side project for a crypto influencer.
Wow, that's super interesting. I wish Hong Kong have that because so far Hong Kong is crypto friendly, but like when I go to Taiwan, there are so many all these events, and then Taiwanese people are a lot more open-minded. That kind of leads me to the next question, because since you have always based in Taiwan, right? I wonder what the regulatory environment there regarding crypto. Like, could you like go to a merchant and pay in crypto? What is it like?
We don't buy stuff in crypto. Like, that's not the thing here. For the regulatory environment, I think they say in September there will be a law comes out. That law should tell us what to do. But no one actually know what are the specific things we have to follow. But most of us think that it's gonna follow Hong Kong, like, because Taiwan is not always creating new laws. We always like watch others, like United States or Hong Kong, Japan, and we follow the stuff that we think it's fit for our environment. And I think Taiwan's environment is very close to Hong Kong. So what you can do, what you cannot, exchanges, if you want to be lawful, you have to like KYC your customers. You have to make an AML stuff like anti-money laundering or stuff.
Well, that's very interesting. I didn't know that a lot of like all other places or all other countries are eyeing on Hong Kong right now. Because I'm not sure if you know, because before November 2022, Hong Kong government is like 100% against cryptocurrencies. They think crypto, like all the illicit activities are taking place in crypto for some reason, and they think all we do is money launder or drug stealing, etc. But the funny thing is, like after FTX crashed, Hong Kong government pulled in 180, and we are basically forcing all these banks like HSBC. They are telling all these banks, you have to start taking crypto seriously. So I really like that. But I wonder, like, at the same time, because you have seen, like, crypto has been growing in all other places, like whether it's Taiwan or Hong Kong or Thailand or Vietnam. But at the same time, US is doing the opposite. SEC kind of scaring all this innovation away from the local land. So what do you think that is? And do you think the next bull market maybe start from the east?
I think the next bull market will start from traditional finance. Their money comes in and the next bull market starts. I believe that the SEC is really doing harm to crypto right now because they just don't want us, like at least Gary Gensler don't want us, right? But I think the most bullish and most market driving event right now is still like the US Bitcoin ETFs. So I think the largest whales and largest money are still in the United States. I don't see if the state, they just keep controlling the money to keep them from coming to crypto. I rather want to believe that one day Gary Gensler will say, okay, I gave in, that you just do what you want to do. And Bitcoin spot it will start. And at the time, the East, like Hong Kong, Taiwan, Japan, spoon together and play together. So if Hong Kong is crypto friendly and the United States is not, will then put their money into like Hong Kong's crypto industry, like something like that? I'm not sure if that works. So what is your view?
Well, I personally, I believe more on the conspiracy side of thing. I'm thinking if the SEC is doing all this so that they can crash down the price of crypto, because as you know, like Gary Gensler, the SEC, they have a really like a friendly relationship with people like BlackRock, and BlackRock is controlling. Secretly controlling like $10 trillion asset in the whole world, and BlackRock filed for ETF. So I'm thinking, like, is it all just like a play? If you look at the number of how many Bitcoin the US government is holding, because always follow what they do, but don't follow what they say, right? And US has the most Bitcoin among all countries in the world. I believe they have like 200,000 Bitcoins sitting in the reserve right now. So I don't believe that, oh, US is trying to destroy crypto, is trying to harm crypto. But I'm more into that conspiracy theory that they're just trying to crash the price. And then once BlackRock has got the spot ETF, and once US has been stacking up all the Bitcoin that the number they wished for, then maybe a year later or 2 years later, all of a sudden US pull 180 on crypto again, just like how Hong Kong pulled 180 on crypto. I mean, a year ago, Hong Kong was so against crypto, but now Hong Kong is trying to be a crypto hub. All right, I do have a next question that I want to jump onto and I'd like to ask you. Since you are a crypto influencer for quite some time, like since 2020, I wonder what's your DD process like, your due diligence for your, whether it's for your own investment or for content creation. Like, do you just like go to Reddit and read some news, or you go to YouTube and listen to other influencers? I wonder what is it like?
Yeah, so this word DD is too much for me. I'm a YouTube channel for most likely the newcomers. So people who like, even if you buy Bitcoin, I think, oh, that's great. That is hard for you. Like, so most of the time when we say DD is like, oh, there's a new project. We don't know the founder. We don't know the tech behind it. So we have to like due diligence before we put our clients' money into it. So that sounds very like hard and wise move. But making my videos, I usually like, if I want to talk about like Ethereum 2.0, like the merge or stuff. So first I watch news, communities. There's no really like fancy stuff I do, like white papers, I read them. Because of the purpose of my video, it's not like, oh, I want to make sure if I put $1 million in it, will it crash me? I just want to tell everyone what is it, what it should be, what it could be, but you didn't know. So I found this stuff and I put into the content, and I tell them to DYOR and stuff. So I believe that the fancy DD is in that DYOR, but I can't do that for anyone, because if I spend that time, the timing is past. So yeah, That's my DD process.
No, actually, I have a very similar so-called DD process too. And for me to spot a topic for my content, I'll just go to Reddit, because Reddit you have that like upvote thing, right? So whenever there are like more upvotes, that means more people vote that, oh, this topic is interesting. So I would just look through all the Reddit and see whatever is trending, that I would just tend to cover that in my video. Well, moving on from the importance of DD to a like broader crypto landscapes, I wonder what's your take on the current state of the crypto market, and where do you think we are heading in the near future? Do you think we are getting like a Bitcoin spot ETF anytime soon? It may trigger like the next bull run. What's your take on that?
So it depends on how do you define soon, right? So some of us define soon like next week or next deadline, like in 45 days, like October. I don't see that coming that soon. I think the SEC will pass the deadline until the last deadline, which is, I believe it's in March 2024. And I think that is a time we have to be like nervous about, because they will decide whether it's passed or not. And if that's passed, the bull market will start, I think, from that, because the halving schedule is there, and people think that the US government should start printing money from that, and the Bitcoin ETF and all the good stuff is happening right there. And on the other hand, if the SEC again against them, that is difficult, because also people think that time US could start printing money, but that time economics could like be in a catastrophe too. We might go into depression or stuff. Yeah. So it's really hard to tell from now, but I think the current state is still peaceful. I would say peaceful. There will be no like big boom or big dump, at least in recent weeks or recent months. That's my take.
Well, this kind of leads it perfectly to my next question, because you mentioned something about like printing money, like all these macro stuff, like macro economic stuff. So I wonder, like, for the past year and a half, we have seen rate hike, we have seen war, we have seen banking crisis. And how do you think that will impact Bitcoin? Because Bitcoin is supposed to be like a hedge against all these kind of stuff. But do you think it turns out it play out that way, or do you think we're still kind of like correlated with the macro?
Yeah, so if you look into the numbers, we are correlated to the market, because last week there's a report. It says the Bitcoin price is like so relative to S&P 500. Like Bitcoin price is so related to S&P 500. It's like every time the stock of US rise, Bitcoin rise like 70% of time. I think Bitcoin is meant to be a hedge, but it's not right now, because right now it's not all people understand Bitcoin. Most of the people in this realm, even if they have a lot of money, they see Bitcoin as a risky asset to play with. So if you only look into the prices, it will not show the hedging attribute to you. But if you look into the fundamentals, like you mentioned the war, if you live in Ukraine, if you live in Russia and you want to escape, what is the only thing you can get with you? That's Bitcoin. You can get Ruby falls down. You can get, I don't even know the money in Ukraine. So if you take gold, most people invest in gold and they think, oh, gold is better than Bitcoin. But actually you can, if you want to just take the real gold, that is hard. And if you take the paper gold, oh, your bank could be like destroyed by putting something like that. So the only thing you can get is your private key, Bitcoin inside, and people just know that. People know that, and people understand that through the war, through all the crises. They know it, but they also know that the market condition is not that, oh, people already will put money due to that reason, but people just know it. And I think that will lead us to the future where, okay, this stuff is more like gold rather than stock.
Completely agree with you, because a lot of people are complaining that, well, Bitcoin claims to be make the world a better place, blah, 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 hedge against everything in the world. But at the same time, there's only like 14 years of history, of the whole Bitcoin history. So you can't compare that with the stock market for like more than a century. Well, I do have another question that I'd like to throw at you, because at the same time, crypto, like native crypto market is facing a lot of scrutiny. If you look at exchanges like Binance, Binance is the largest exchange in the world, but like everywhere in the world is having like scrutiny over Binance. And like, how do you think that will play out? And do you see any potential challenges ahead of them?
I think it will be hard because the other people want to come in, like BlackRock, like Fidelity. They also want the cake in this realm, and I just don't see if like BlackRock and like all the Wall Street players come in and Binance can still remain its influence like right now, because Binance have more than, I believe, 53% of market share right now. I don't see that will last like 5 years or 10 years. I believe Binance will stay, like BNB will stay, because they are making money, and they have a really huge user basis, so they will stay. But still dominant? We'll see.
Well, any projects that is like always on your DCA list?
Okay, so Bitcoin, Ethereum, these are two assets that I can buy blindly. Just I don't care what market goes, I just buy. And other things, like I didn't use a typical DCA way. I always like, I think there is a market dump of that coin, but I think that is because of FUD, and I will buy some if I like that. For example, like Matic, some layer 2 coins, some DeFi coins. That's my realm, because you know I started from DeFi, so yeah, I understand that more than most of the other realm of crypto.
So would you say you are most bullish on the DeFi sector in the coming bull market then?
Yeah,
because there are
DeFi and social fi also, I think.
Social fi. Oh, okay.
They don't call them social fi right now. They call them Web3 social, I believe. Yeah, I think Web3 social is what Web3 are meant for. I'm not sure if there is a good prototype here right now. We know Lens protocol is the biggest, like Favor is the biggest on Lens, but I think there are still a lot to improve. But the idea is right there, because what we want to change is what Web2 big company controlling our data, our stuff, and what they're doing. What they are doing mostly is on those social platforms like Facebook, Instagram, or stuff. So I think Web3 social is important.
Great, got you. And I guess my next question is like, what advice you can give to a newcomer just entered the crypto space? Do you have any strategies for them, like any tips, or just DCA would be fine?
I believe it depends on the time they want to spend in the crypto realm, or say investment realm, right? If you have a lot of time, of course you should read as many articles as you can, because if you know more, you could make more money, or at least avoid more risks. But if you have no so much time, DCA is the best way. I mean, because if you don't have so much time and you go to listen to some sources, like some coin will pump source, trust me, bro, or something like that, and you buy that, you probably will get wrecked.
So finally, let's say, because you are also a YouTuber yourself, and do you have any advice that you can give someone who also wants to become a YouTuber? Do you have any tips?
Know your purpose, I think. If you just want to be famous, I believe TikTok is better. I think YouTube is so when we say YouTube, we typically say long videos, right? Because we know short videos are more likely the trend, but YouTube is still the largest video platform. And I think video is still a very great way for people to like indulge information and trying to have a relax, but because I think it's still very competitive realm right now in YouTube, and it can be more competitive in the foreseeable future, because your competitor are not only other YouTubers, but also TikTokers, people making reels. They are like eating the share of the video market. So I think if you don't have a really good like purpose, and when I say purpose, it's not that you want to like do good to others or make the world a better place, not something like that. You have to have a purpose that not only you want to be famous, but you think that you are making videos to like Mr. Beast. He just want to make fun. He just want to make every people to have fun, right? And if you are like a crypto influencer, you maybe want to share crypto knowledge to people. And YouTube is only one of your tools, something like that. If you want to share people, YouTube can be your tools. If you want to promote something, YouTube can be your tools. But know your purpose and understand what your niche is very important. So, because for me, like 100K channel in the world is not a very big channel, but in Taiwan, in this niche market of crypto, it's not small. So I can make a living and I can be a so-called influencer, and that's cool. And I believe that's because I know what I'm doing.
Great. I love what you just said. And that wraps up our episode today. Thank you so much, Raizel, for your time to do this with me. Of course, Raizel's channel, like all the links, could be found in the description box below. And if you want more of our updates, do follow us on Instagram and Twitter, right? And until then, I'll see you guys next time.